Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the podcast that, spoiler alert, just won the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal at WrestleMania. It is Lost in the Midcard. I am your host, Jeremy Bennett. You can find me on Twitter at JBHuskers. And as always, my co-host is Matt Black. You can find him on Twitter at RawF Showtime. And, of course, our special pay-per-view preview guest, Trevor Oz, the voice of Black Diamond Wrestling. How are you guys doing tonight?
I'm doing good. I mean, I'm extremely bored and almost fell asleep.
Are you guys done playing tug of war with the title over there?
Yeah, I won. It's mine.
Oh, it's yours.
I just gave up because I was like, this is a dumb ending. So you can just have this.
You can have it. I don't want it. That looked like two kids just fighting over a toy. Mommy! We are, as always, brought to you by SpiderDuck.net, and thanks to SpiderDuck.net, we are on iTunes, which you can subscribe to us. Our links for iTunes and YouTube are both on our Facebook page, facebook.com/LostInTheMidcard. Let's go ahead and get started with our top stories today. First, a tragic story in Mexico. Rey Mysterio makes his big return to the AAA wrestling promotion, and unfortunately during a triple threat match, Hijo del Perro Aguayo unfortunately collapsed after being kicked by Rey Mysterio. It didn't look, if you see the video all over YouTube, it didn't look like too devastating of a kick, so we're not sure what really caused it, but he had collapsed, and as Rey was going for the 619, he just kind of floated over him because he realized something was not right, and unfortunately, later on that night, Io was pronounced dead at the scene. And while there's nothing that's come out yet as to the cause of death, some even speculating that they could charge Rey Mysterio, which is kind of ridiculous. I don't think they're able to do that. But did you guys get a chance to see the video and kind of your reaction to what happened in the ring there?
It just looked like a freak accident. Honestly, the people online right now that are, chastising Rey Mysterio really need to slow their roll and just shut the hell up. Because I could not see absolutely anything Rey Mysterio did that could have caused this to happen. It was nothing more than a freak accident, and it's awful for everybody involved. But to be pointing fingers at and blaming people right now is absolutely the last thing that Perro's family probably wants or needs right now. I think at this time they just want to be left alone. That's what I would want.
Yeah, what were your thoughts on that, Trevor?
And at this point, I mean, it kind of shows how dangerous professional wrestling can be. And they were saying it was a spinal thing, and who knows if it was a bad bump that he took, or maybe it was just over the years and years of taking bumps, and then it finally, and that's what led to it, after years. It's hard to say whether it was over time that the injury happened, or whether it just, happened right then and there. It's hard to say. I mean, he was wrestling since a couple months, I think, before he turned 16. So he had been wrestling for about 20 years. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of hard to say what really caused it in the long run. But honestly, it's a freak accident. It happens. Wrestling, it's predetermined and everything, but it's certainly a dangerous profession.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. Somebody also might have speculated it could have been, just the right kind of shot to the chest with that drop kick could have caused some kind of trauma. And like you said, Trevor, some of that could have been from a pre-existing condition. One does not know. Over time, we'll figure out what happened possibly, and hopefully that his family can get a little bit of closure. Hopefully Rey can recover from such a tragic event in the ring. It was supposed to be a happy return for him back to AAA, and sadly enough, we lose Pero at the age of 35. Going to a lighter note, we have a new addition, not really a new addition to WrestleMania, but some notable news in the fact that NXT is going to be represented at WrestleMania, which is phenomenal because, we all pretty much agree NXT is the best show in wrestling today, and they announced that there's going to be a 4-man tournament at WrestleMania Access at Santa Clara, California, featuring Hideo Itami, Finn Balor, Tyler Breeze, and Adrian Neville. The winner of the tournament will get a spot in the second annual Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal that the Lost in the Midcard podcast already won, so I don't know why they need to have a tournament for it. But anyways, gentlemen, is this the obvious way to get Adrian Neville into the main card? Matt, go ahead.
I would certainly think so. As soon as I saw the 4 people that were in it, I was like, yep, this is Neville's call-up. I would expect him to win the tournament and be involved in the Battle Royal, probably be eliminated by somebody to start a feud the next night on Raw, and to go on from there. I don't expect Neville to win, but I definitely expect him to be the guy that's going to get the call to be in the Battle Royal that Sunday.
Trevor, you agree with that?
Yeah, I actually really agree with that, because I actually didn't pay attention to who was going to be in the tournament until you just said it now, and Adrian Neville was like, oh, well, that makes sense for him, because what else does he have left to do in NXT at this point?
Yeah, exactly, and it's going to be kind of cool to see. He'll throw a red arrow in there and do a lot of cool spots to get some big reactions from that huge WrestleMania crowd. The only one that could possibly win it outside of that is Finn Balor, but he's got an NXT Championship match with Kevin Owens this coming week, so that could be the only other surprise. I don't think Tommy's ready for the main roster. Tyler Breeze still has to, capture the NXT Championship, which I think is going to be eventually a formality, probably this year. And so there's still a lot left for Breeze to do, even though he does, I think he does have the pedigree right now where he could be on the main roster. But it does look like this is the obvious way to get Adrian Neville up there. And curious to see kind of what will exactly happen with that. We'll at the end of the show today, we'll do our WrestleMania predictions and see what we think of who's going to win that Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. The final inductee into the WWE Hall of Fame was announced, and it's none other than Kevin Nash. And this is a man that really needs no introduction. He was best known as Vinny Vegas. He was best known as one of the pioneers of the Attitude Era when him and Razor Ramon, Scott Hall jumped ship to form the Outsiders in WCW to trigger the Monday Night Wars. Nash was ranked number 1 by PWI in 1995. He's held championships all out throughout TNA, WCW, and WWE, and it's a long and lengthy career full of big highlights, going from Shawn Michaels' Bodyguard, all the way to the NWO. And Trevor, what do you see as career-defining moments for Kevin Nash?
The finger poke of doom. Definitely.
5-star match. 5-star match.
When he defeated Goldberg using a stun gun.
Scott Hall used that stun gun there.
Ended the streak. I know Scott Hall used it, but I mean Kevin Nash benefited from it, and that's how Kevin Nash ended the streak. So let's not forget about him tearing his quad the first day he comes back from injury.
That was that'll live on YouTube forever. The fact that he just crumbled into a big 7-foot mess. Matt, what are your thoughts on Kevin Nash through his career in the wrestling world?
I definitely think he did a lot of things in the 90s that really helped. make wrestling reach the heights of popularity that it did during the Monday Night Wars if it wasn't for the NWO. I don't really know how wrestling would have turned over the late 90s and the early 2000s, or if even we'd still be having a thriving wrestling product today with WWE. So, he's definitely Hall of Fame worthy. It's funny because they were doing the induction video tonight, and my roommate looked over at me. He's like, he's not already in? And I'm like, nope, but he's in now. So, he's definitely deserving of being in there. He's done a lot, and, I could poke fun at his career just like everybody else, but at the end of the day, he's more than deserved his Hall of Fame induction this year.
Yeah, he definitely added a lot of charisma to the big man. He a lot of the big men were, stoic and no personality, and Nash is just full of charisma and kind of personified, what the next generation would be. And yeah, it's no doubt that he goes. Do you find it interesting though when Hall went in, all they did was raise Ramon, but when Nash goes in, they talk about everything?
Well, I'm here. Well, last year, if I actually was talking about this earlier today with some people, last year when Scott Hall was going in as Razor Ramon, Kevin Nash made it very clear, like, when they induct me into the Hall of Fame, I'm not going in as Diesel. I'm going in as Kevin Nash. And I'm hearing WWE wanted to put him in as Diesel, and Kevin Nash is like, no, we're not doing that. I'm going in as Kevin Nash. And that's probably part of the reason why they decided to announce his induction last, because they probably went back and forth on this for weeks about what they were going to induct him under. And I had heard at a point a few weeks back that they recorded an induction video for both Kevin Nash and Diesel. So they probably took that induction video and just combined it together into one video and used that tonight. WWE can make their Diesel names, but at the end of the day, he's going in as Nash, and Nash is happy. WWE's kind of happy. And since he's a part of Triple H's clique, no one's going to tell him no.
Well, I just kind of, and that's the way that Hall should have went in anyways.
I agree.
And you figured Triple H has got enough pull with that, too, but maybe Hall just didn't care. Hall's probably just happy to be alive right now.
That's what I would think.
Yeah, that's probably very true.
Yeah. We go to quickly peruse SmackDown from last week. Not much to take from SmackDown as, typical, but we did get a great gauntlet match with the Intercontinental competitors for the ladder match at WrestleMania, and we did get a sweet powerbomb that Natalya delivered to El Torito. That's about all I took away from it, was that and Daniel Bryan and Dolph Ziggler. That's about all we could really take from that, don't you think?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, and it's even going to be better this week. It's going to be basically mostly Access and then an 8-man tag, where everybody gets their finisher in and the good guys win. So I just spoiled SmackDown for you guys. I'm sorry.
Damn it. I wasn't going to watch it.
Live from Los Angeles, California tonight, as we tape this on March 23rd, Raw emanates episode number 1138, and we got ourselves a very hot open to Raw tonight as Sting, the Icon, the Vigilante, made his way to the ring as he opens Monday Night Raw. He gives us a little bit of his trademark howl, tells us how he's been the man for WCW, but this is not a fight for WCW. This is a fight against Triple H. And then, unfortunately, we don't get much more of a promo from Sting as Stephanie McMahon cuts him off. But what did you guys think of that opening segment there? Start with you, Matt.
Oh, dude, just the fact that Sting opened an episode of Monday Night Raw, I thought it was awesome. So yeah, I had no complaints about the opening of Raw. It probably was, wrestling matches aside, it was probably my favorite part of Raw tonight was the opening segment with Sting.
Yeah, it was hard to top that, and I just wish it would have went a little longer for Sting.
True.
you really could have turned off Raw after that point and not really missed anything. Let's be honest. I mean, but was it just me, or did anybody else get a boner when Stephanie grabbed the sledgehammer?
The look on her face. It looked like she just came up from a long blowjob session.
Wow.
I mean, I can't be the only one. So.
And up came the sledgehammer. Oh my God. There's a fan vote for the WWE app that, you know, they want to let you know that has been downloaded 17 million times, but yet they don't get 17 million viewers, so I don't know why they need to brag that there's 17 million.
You know, how many people have downloaded it on their tablet, on their phone, on their kid's tablet, on, you know, it's like, well.
And you get a new phone every year now, basically. So.
Right, so it's like, is it really 17 million unique users, or is it just, you know, like 2, and they each do it on like 17 different devices? You know.
Oh, you know, but you know how WWE likes to pat themselves on the back.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's
it
not,
makes Barry Horowitz.
It's not an episode of Monday Night Raw if Vince isn't jerking himself off.
Yeah, Barry Horowitz gets mad about how much they pat themselves on the back. So. Tag match between.
He gets mad about how many times they self high five.
Tag match between 4 of the 7 competitors in the Intercontinental Ladder match here, which probably is going to steal the show. That match is going to be probably amazing. We got Dean Ambrose and actually R-Truth in a wrestling ring for once during this whole little lead up to WrestleMania. They face Luke Harper and Stardust. I thought it was kind of funny the beginning of the match when they're chanting Cody and Luke Harper covers Cody's ears.
I didn't even notice it because.
What can I say? He's a team player.
Yeah, it was like Daddy covering little Cody's ears because they're chanting Cody.
Earmuffs.
I think the tag team of R-Truth and Dean Ambrose could be a little entertaining for a couple months, maybe, you know, when they don't have anything to do for either one of them. Well, Truth never has anything to do, so. I think it would be an entertaining tag team. Don't you think?
What if we actually found out that Dean Ambrose is actually just little Jimmy grown up?
How did you get away with being invisible for so long, Dean? I mean, Jimmy. And then I don't know if this was an intended segue, but after the match, they went to the promote Special Olympics. Sorry, but they followed up R-Truth and Dean Ambrose and Luke Harper with Special Olympics. But the Special Olympics World Games are in LA this year, and they did a little bit of promotion for that since they are in LA tonight. We got to see a video package of Roman Reigns that I don't think would scare the shit out of little Jimmy, let alone Brock Lesnar, compared to what Brock Lesnar's been saying. But
come on, man,
believe that.
Did you see the part of the video where he cocked his fist like a gun? You think that's not scary?
For the 100th time when he does that? Okay.
Do you know how bad it would be if he cocked his fist before he fist bumped the fan going into the ring? They would go flying, man. They'd be in trouble.
Hey, it's PG. He's cocking a water gun.
Believe that.
The reason why we win the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal is because there's a 10-man tag team match full of mid-carders in the next match. It's a 10-man tag with Ryback, Zack Ryder, Titus O'Neil, Darren Young, and Eric Rowan against The Miz, Mizdow, Adam Rose, Connor, and Victor, who've been off TV for a while. So, basically, you know, just
well, the things I take away from this match is A, I forgot it happened. I thought it was just a fever dream. And B, who the fuck are Connor and Victor?
You don't watch NXT?
I do. That's the joke, JB.
Look, there's only one thing you need to take away from that match. Zack Ryder won a match on Monday Night Raw. Period.
If you had him on your fantasy team this week, that's bonus points.
I didn't even remember that he was in the match, let alone won it. That's how much I paid attention to what was happening in this match.
How much Sudafed did you take before the Sting segment, Trevor? You don't remember much. I was just kind of wondering.
Well, no, I mean, I didn't have to take any. All I had to do was watch all these tag matches.
Oh, yeah, and don't forget the commercials in between every match and after every match and before every match.
Yeah, that's why I don't watch Raw live a lot of times.
Yeah, I have publicly said that as well. It's hard for me to watch it live as well, but it's WrestleMania, damn it!
WWE wanted to push their tag division so hard tonight that the tag team titles are on the pre-show at WrestleMania this Sunday.
Yeah, and they wanted to push their tag division so hard that three of the teams in the division were in that 10-man tag match that are going to be in the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. So,
why are Los Matadores not in the Battle Royal instead of the Primetime Players or the Ascension? Why are one of those teams not going for the tag titles? Well, Miz and Mizdow aren't because they're finally going to separate at WrestleMania, hopefully.
True.
Freaking
But, yeah. Hell, why not give us Zack Ryder and Eric Rowan? I mean, that could be the odd couple or whatever. And then just get beat by...
I don't know, I think they're more alike than you think.
Yeah, except I don't think Zack Ryder can grow facial hair.
Yeah, but he just grows it up top. Like it's like they both have the hair on their head. It's just Eric's comes out of his chin, and Zach's comes out of his head.
Yeah, I don't think there's quite a tie between whatever backwoods Rowan's from and New Jersey, but you never know. Maybe Ryder's mom got around. Woo woo woo.
You didn't just say that.
Tell me.
She gives it.
Well.
Wait a minute.
A lot of sexual innuendos on this show today. Yeehaw! We get a typical WWE slanted poll of, gee, what is the universe going to vote for here to face Randy Orton? Is it going to be Big Show? Kane? I mean, we know Matt voted for both with 2 devices. That's how they got.
I didn't vote for anything tonight because I was like, this is all pointless. Like most of WWE's voting things. I think the last time I voted on anything was the Slammy Awards.
Well, yeah, and Roman Reigns won the Superstar of the Year.
Yeah, I know. I didn't vote for Roman.
Thanks, Matt.
I didn't vote for Roman. I voted for Daniel Bryan. But I was both voting things tonight. I was just like, whatever. Why would I freaking care? Like, which one of these guys do you want to actually ref this singles match that would be great without a stupid referee looking over it? I don't know. Is none of the above an option? No? Okay, I'll just let the fans vote.
I mean, it goes to show how much people don't want to see Big Show and Kane. Except for, like those 2 people that actually do with that poll.
Well, they did combine for 23%, but I think Kane has a lot of kids. From Katie Vick. Oh, I just went there too. Randy Orton defeats J&J Security. Seth Rollins was just a little bitch.
Shocker there.
Yeah. That was basically just a little bit of an angle. We will probably get a great match, though, between them 2 at WrestleMania. But
I agree. They could have done, like, something else, anything else, really, to fucking promote that match.
They could have had, like, a tug-of-war with Jamie Noble, maybe.
That would have been more entertaining than the tug-of-war we got at the end of the night.
Tug-of-war mania, brother! All right, how about match of the night? Again, the Divas put on a great show, and again, they get over 10 minutes. And this was Nikki Bella. This is her way of kind of putting a rift between Paige and AJ Lee by saying she's going to have them choose one of the 2 to take on Nikki Bella, and she's putting her Divas title on the line. And we got another great Divas match. I think finally somebody woke up in creative and slapped Vince upside the head and said, give these ladies some time for the ones that can actually wrestle. And we got ourselves a good match. AJ got involved outside and knocked Brie down, and then Paige tapped her on the back of the shoulder, and AJ must have thought it was Nikki, or did she? And gave Paige the elbow, which ended up with Paige running into a forearm and then the rack attack, and Paige retaining the Divas title. Great Divas match. Matt, what did you think of that one?
Yeah, I thought the match was really good. It just goes to show if they give the Divas some time and they actually allow them to be put in some form of a storyline that makes sense and doesn't insult someone's intelligence, they can actually be a viable part of the show. Because it was smart. The heel's like, yeah, we're facing both of you guys at WrestleMania, but one of you can fight me for the title tonight. You guys could figure it out. Which immediately causes the rift between the other team because both of them want to be champion. It made sense. It worked. The match was good. The finish made sense. And, I think they're going to have a pretty great tag match at WrestleMania on Sunday, as long as they're given the time that they've been given on Raw the past couple of weeks.
Yeah, hopefully some shit doesn't go overtime and they cut the Divas like they have in the past, because all four of these girls can definitely go. It's going to be what should be a good match. Obviously, they had to put a little drama with AJ and Paige, but they'll be fine, I'm sure. Trevor, did you enjoy that Divas match tonight?
Yeah, it was actually one of the only things that I paid attention to on Raw tonight.
So. You came up out of your slumber for this one, huh?
Yeah, I woke up a little bit. I was like, oh, they're actually having a good Divas match here. Let's pay attention.
Well, the last Raw before WrestleMania is usually Promo Mania, so... Or... Tug of War Mania, whatever you want to. Maybe the highlight of the night, screw Sting, it was Axelmania, don't you think?
There was way too much mania in that segment, brother.
Well, Snoop Dogg came out and did a little. He came out with a hoe train, the hoe train of Alicia Fox, Summer Rae, Cameron, and Rosa.
Yeah,
I didn't
recognize the hoe train of the Divas division.
I didn't recognize that they were the Divas at first. He came out with the women. I thought it was the hoe train. I'm like, yes, Snoop's bringing the hoe train back.
And then you saw Rosa Mendez, and you still thought it was the hoe train.
That's just to find that it's the hoe train. Snoop is talking as he likes to do, and Curtis Axel comes out and tells us not to change the channel, though I think Trevor might have changed it.
I for Curtis Axel, I would never change the channel. But then once Hulk came out, I was like, flip.
We're in agreement that we would never change the channel for Curtis Axel. And surprise, surprise, Hulk Hogan came out and dropped a little fist on Axel, and Snoop Dogg threw him out of the ring, and we got Hulk Hogan with his 28-inch pythons and Snoop Dogg with his 4-inch pythons.
If that.
Dude, the smallest arms I've ever seen.
That is a skinny motherfucker. Oh, my Lord.
You probably shouldn't have been doing pose downs in the ring, but...
whatever,
I'm not booking Raw, so...
Yeah. Good segment for what it was worth. Nice surprise seeing Hogan.
Yeah.
We get a rematch of our... Yes, interspecies tag match. Wow. Kidding. Why didn't they just keep...
Because we didn't get enough of this on SmackDown Thursday night.
I mean, except the powerbomb that Natalya laid El Torito out was pretty fucking funny. But, I think El Torito might have pinned Natalya in that end of the match, or I don't know what the hell happened, but I think I fell asleep during that one, because I hate Los Matadores. Why couldn't they just have Cesaro and Kid stretch out the feud with Usos? They could have done it. It could have meant something better. It probably wouldn't have even been on the pre-show if they would have done it right.
Meh.
Yeah.
But
I mean, what?
I don't know.
So if we have more interspecies matches, which team is Kinky Kelly going to be on?
God, no.
Let's move on. Hey, for the...
hey, if you got that joke, then you're awesome, everybody out there.
For the 3 millionth time, we get Rusev and Jack Swagger, and Jack Swagger almost pulled it out. Oh, wait, no, he didn't. 4 minutes later, and Accolade in, Rusev wins. I don't know.
It was what it was.
Do you prefer just a random jobber get thrown to him in this situation, or do you think it's good to just keep throwing Swagger out there and then once Rusev's undefeated streak is over, that maybe Swagger, kind of a la Tommy Dreamer and Raven, finally gets a win like a year later? Do you think that would turn out to be a good story in the end by keep throwing Swagger out there now?
Oh man.
No?
Dude, it's Swagger.
You're not down with We the People?
Dude,
I like Swagger a lot, actually.
Well, they had a chance to get him over again like 7 months ago with this exact same feud, and they chose not to do it. So at this point, it's just like every time I see that's going to be the match, granted, I know it's going to be good, but my eyes kind of like glaze over because I don't care. I'm like, well, I already know what this result's going to be. Accolade tap out or whatever, and I just
it'd be a bit different if they changed it up. I mean, at this point, Rusev has really good matches, but he's going to win, at least going into WrestleMania, because he's not going to lose before Cena, if he loses to Cena,
And we'll get to that with our predictions later. Speaking of Cena, Cena came out to make the save with Swagger, as obviously Lana's usually the one that gets Rusev off of the Accolade. But she's still not there. She's still filming a movie. So John Cena comes to make the save, and John Cena gets the shit beat out of him. So we'll have to see if that's foreshadowing for the opposite that's going to happen at WrestleMania. We'll get to that once we do our predictions here later on in the show. Another promo from Bray Wyatt, and I thought it was pretty cool with the old flashing lights and the thunder while Wyatt was cutting his promo. I thought that was a nice little touch. As we expected, Undertaker is not going to show up at all until WrestleMania. And do you think Bray, given what he's given, Trevor, do you think Bray's done a good job in carrying this by himself?
To an extent. I mean, the promos are good. I mean, they're always good. Mm-hmm. But, after so many, they feel samey. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like you don't really need to pay attention. I mean, it's like, he's going to talk, all about The Undertaker, and The Undertaker's not going to reply back, and we're going to see the match at WrestleMania. I don't know. I mean, Bray's a great promo. It's just, again, it all feels just like the same thing week after week.
Yeah.
No variation.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, there's been a few different good moments, lighting the casket on fire. Tonight's promo I thought was pretty cool, especially with what with all the effects and stuff. But
I agree. They do a lot of cool effects and stuff, but the actual content of the promo is pretty much the same.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so obviously we're saving Undertaker for WrestleMania, and that's going to be kind of interesting. Maybe he's going to come with a unique look or a unique entrance that we haven't seen before, with leaving him off TV. That'll be remain to be seen, but we'll have to wait and see till Sunday to see what happens there. Probably up there with Match of the Night with the Divas. Probably a little better, even though these guys didn't go all out on their match. But Daniel Bryan, Dolph Ziggler gives us the dream match we kind of wanted at WrestleMania. We get it on Raw instead with Dean Ambrose as the guest referee, who was voted in by the 17 million people that own the app. And a great match, obviously. I wonder if this, they kind of held back a little bit. They did get a good 10 minutes, a great match. Ziggler getting the pinfall again over Bryan as he did in the gauntlet. And Matt, do you think maybe this is set up to give us the match we all want, maybe in April or May at Extreme Rules?
I mean, it's looking at this point that Ziggler's beating Bryan back to back on SmackDown and Raw. It makes sense to me at this point that I would see Bryan. I wasn't so sure about this a week ago, but after watching Bryan lose back-to-back shows, I'm thinking Bryan's going to win the Intercontinental title at WrestleMania, and maybe that will lead to a Dolph Ziggler-Daniel Bryan feud because, Dolph beat him twice, and now Bryan's the champ, and they can do their feud post-WrestleMania.
That would definitely get eyes on that Intercontinental title match. they've already done a good job of kind of upping the importance with adding Daniel Bryan to the mix and doing things like Dean Ambrose stating on how important it is for him to win it after seeing the Hall of Champions up at the WWE headquarters. I think they're starting to at least get this built to the way it should be. And if we do get a Ziggler-Bryan match for the Intercontinental title, I mean, hell, that could be just like Shawn and Razor, something to kind of bump that back up. And what were your thoughts on that match tonight, Trevor?
I mean, honestly, I had the same thought as Matt. And it's really stupid that we have to think this way. That, Daniel Bryan's losing matches, so he's going to win the belt.
Booking 101.
It's just weird booking. It's like, oh, well, if we make him look strong, then he's not going to have opponents when he wins it.
The end of the night on Raw tonight led us to see a face-off between Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns. While that face-off was really short, but Heyman cuts another great promo and talks about how Brock Lesnar is going to take Roman Reigns' wife and steal food off his kid's table.
Is he just collecting wives now? Like, was Sable the first one, and then he's just going around to the rest of the roster and stealing wives?
Yeah, I think he took John Cena's wife at SummerSlam, and then he took Undertaker's wife at WrestleMania last year. So, yeah, I think he's got a nice collection of wives and kids' food, too. So, he probably has a lot of cans of SpaghettiO. But I don't know if this was just because they were overtime, because this segment started well past 10. And Roman Reigns came out. They stared down. Brock shoved the title in Roman's face. Roman snatched the title. And then they played a little tug-of-war like a couple of kids fighting over a toy. And I was so fixated on what they were going to do next, I didn't even see the Raw logo go down on the bottom in the end of the show.
I couldn't believe that was the finish.
Yeah, and then it just ended, and you're just like,
that was it?
That's it?
Yeah, I was like, well, this is our build-up to WrestleMania?
Yeah, it really worries me that, I mean, I guess I shouldn't say the word worry, but it really piqued my interest that Roman Reigns was treated like such an afterthought at the close of this show, leading into this match. I really wonder if a deal got done today in L.A., and if Brock signed a new deal.
I think he signed a new deal.
Because they really Reigns, we've been doing the joke for months now, got to make Roman Reigns look really strong.
Yep.
I don't think Roman Reigns looks strong at all tonight in that main event segment going into WrestleMania.
Well, not when they're fucking fighting over, and that's going to be our fucking stupid moment of the week. Do you agree, Matt?
Oh, dude, I've already seen pictures online of people have replaced the championship with a teddy bear. I think I retweeted that out earlier tonight, so you can check my timeline for that.
Trevor, we invented a new award here on Lost in the Midcard. It started with we covered 2 weeks of Raw last week, as we had yeah, I had to watch Raw live last week too. And we came up with the fucking stupid moment of the week. The title probably will change from week to week, but fucking and stupid will be in there somewhere. And last week it was the guy with the Russian accent, Rusev's lawyer. So I think this week the really fucking stupid moment of the week has to go to the tug of war of the WWE Championship.
Yeah, it's like usually these things you see some like action, like you would see them like start to get into a fight, and then like. Brock being the more dominant one, you would think he would either get a little bit over, or you'd see Roman Reigns get that hope in, where like he would take Brock Lesnar down a peg for a second, and then it's like, well, man, while Roman stood toe to toe, maybe he's going to take that belt on Sunday. But none of that happened. They just, again, looked like two kids fighting over a teddy bear.
I just think they went way overtime tonight. And
they must have. I mean,
they didn't plan it.
They couldn't. I mean, I guess they couldn't have, but they couldn't have cut out, Tyson Kidd's love for frickin' chicken fries.
Oh, yeah. No shit. Oh, wait, that was trending on Twitter.
How did we not
that might be the stupid.
That
might be an even stupid. That's like the the second place winner for the stupid.
No, I'm sorry. That was right behind the Sting segment. It's my favorite part of Raw.
Plus we had to get in the in-depth preview of the Kevin Hart and Will Ferrell movie, so we have to cut the last segment short there too, so we can get that in. So
it's funny that chicken fries segment was going on, and my roommate looked at me and they brought back the chicken fries, and I'm like, yep, and he's like, why are we? And he's like, why are we sitting here? And I'm like, I don't know.
Why are we watching this show?
Let's go get chicken fries.
NXT went on the road at Columbus for the Arnold Festival, and pretty good crowd, for being on the road. Did you guys get a chance to catch NXT from Columbus?
Yeah, it was a good hour. It was a good hour of wrestling. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I think the entrance was kind of interesting, like how the ramp is set up, and you got to go down the stairs with the caution tape on each stair.
Hey, Kalisto gave no fucks. He jumped right off that damn thing on that trampoline.
Yep. There goes. What? There's a trampoline there?
Yeah,
no way.
I'm sorry, I just spoiled it for you.
No, that's his natural given talent to jump that high into the ring. Come on.
Wrestling isn't wrestling.
Oh, we'll get to that in a minute too.
And I'm sure if JBL was on commentary, he would have called him a Mexican jumping man.
Oh my God.
That's JBL for you.
I'm sure Sin Cara is Mexican for Kalisto.
I'm sure JBL probably gets them mixed up. They look alike with their masks. Tyler Breeze and Kalisto start off, and pretty good match between these two. No surprise. So maybe a good indication of the future with these two possibly, maybe feuding down the road once Kalisto drops Sin Cara, that dead weight, and we got a nice entertaining match between Breeze and Kalisto. Obviously, Breeze getting over because Breeze is a little more higher up on the chain, and Kalisto is in the tag division, but still pretty fun to watch there. We got Alexa Bliss taking on. First we got a pair of tag teams in singles competition with Wesley Blake against Colin Cassidy. Big pop by the Columbus crowd for Enzo Amore, Big Cass, and Carmella. Well, actually, they booed the shit out of Carmella, but that's because she's a stank bitch.
Wow.
Oh. She's ratchet.
Boom, realest guy in the room.
How you doing?
Ratchet. How you doing? She's gonna turn on them anyway. She's a snake. She's gonna join the Australian Cowboys.
Gunner and Murphy.
Yeah, Gunner.
That's what I think of every time I hear that stupid tag team name. I think of Gunner and Murphy from TNA a couple years ago.
Oh man, we got a pretty short match between those guys, and Blake getting the roll up after a little bit of a distraction. But like I said, huge reaction on the road for Big Cass and Enzo. We got the hometown girl Alexa Bliss, possibly actually is going to be the next one to take on Sasha Banks for her NXT Championship. That will be on this coming week's NXT. Alexa Bliss, pretty short match though with her and Sasha Banks. It didn't go for as long as we would have hoped, but Banks got nailed into a steel post and got counted out, and that did hold on a sec. Amazon Echo just went off playing Nine Inch Nails for no reason.
Stupid Amazon.
Oh man,
that's
the beginning of The Walking Dead right now.
I don't know how
that family member of yours just died. Is that what happened?
Oh, you know what it is you say to trigger like an action from it. You got the code name is Alexa.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's what triggered it.
You just have to say Miss Bliss.
Yeah, let's go back to the Saved by the Bell days. Remember Miss Bliss?
The
Miss
OG
Bliss.
season.
Yep, the one with the junior high. Oh, anyways, Miss Bliss will get a thanks to William Regal. She'll get a tag or I'm a little fucked up now. NXT Women's Champion match. Did they now? Do you know? Did they do 4 shows in Columbus or just the one?
I think they just did one.
And I know they went to Cal. So are they doing this one in California this week then?
I think the one that's coming up this week is from Orlando.
Oh, from Orlando?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not sure which shows they taped and which ones they didn't as they were touring. So I don't know if they taped every show that they were touring with.
We got our main event between Kevin Owens and Alex Riley. Alex Riley was full of piss and vinegar in the beginning, but
say it to his face.
Say it to his face. That dude's yoked right now, man, and full of salt, and full of self tanner. That dude's orange. Well, compared to the whiteness of Kevin Owens, I guess it doesn't take much. But Riley was pretty full of piss and vinegar, but Kevin Owens is hard to stop, and Kevin Owens got a huge reaction from the NXT universe, a lot of chants for his way. In the end, it was a pop-up powerbomb that set Alex Riley down after just a few short minutes, and Kevin Owens has looked to destroy Riley a little more, but we got Finn Balor making the save, as they are going to square off in what should be a phenomenal NXT Championship match this coming week. So NXT, good show, pretty good show. It's kind of cool to see them to go on the road, a little different, unique look to the arena. So I think they chose the right arena in Columbus to do it from, and the crowd got a treat with some good matches.
Agreed.
Definitely.
All right, wrestling fans, this has taken over the internet since it was posted on March 16th and has gotten 1.1 million views. A parody film by Max Landis called Wrestling Isn't Wrestling. If you have not seen this yet, head over to our YouTube or head over to our Facebook page, facebook.com/Lost In The Midcard. We will put a link to it up there. It is a 24 minutes of pure hilarity, basically breaking down the life of Triple H. Matt, what did you think of Wrestling Isn't Wrestling?
Oh, I thought it was hysterical. I mean, it's great for the average wrestling fan to sit there and watch it and be entertained by it, but it's also a fantastic piece to show somebody who isn't necessarily a wrestling fan, to sit them down and say, hey, watch this. This is why we watch what we watch, and this is why we enjoy it. And there's more to this business of professional wrestling than you actually realize. I thought it covered many things on many levels, and I just thought it was an excellent piece. It was extremely well done.
Yeah, I had just caught it here before we did our recording, and man, it was well done. For one, it was extremely well done, and pretty fucking funny, and a lot of cameos in there. Justin Roberts, the ex-ring announcer, Crime Time, and as Matt said, it's like you got to watch this thing a few times to catch all the cameos. But Trevor, what were your thoughts on Wrestling Isn't Wrestling?
That is the best piece of wrestling content I've ever seen.
Ever?
It explains so much, and like Matt said, it's not just for wrestling fans; it's for people that don't understand wrestling. And I think it's a fun way to get people to understand what wrestling's about, even if it's not their cup of tea, or even if they never thought about it before.
Yeah.
Also, female Randy Orton. If you want to get a hold of me on Twitter, anytime.
All the male wrestling parts were played by women, and man, I didn't realize Triple H and Shawn Michaels were so hot. And then when you get to China.
China looked the same.
Oh no!
Hairy legs and all.
Well, that was from the steroids. So.
When they showed China for the first time, I just fucking cracked up at that point. Oh my god! But yes, Wrestling Isn't Wrestling. Great video, came out on the 16th of March. The YouTube user the video's under is Up to My Knees, all one word, or you can find the link, once again, on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Lost in the Midcard. Definitely a must-read must-watch for you fellas. All right, let's roll into TNA for this past Friday. The headliner, obviously, is going to be the big TNA World Heavyweight Championship match between Kurt Angle and Bobby Lashley. We start off, though, with a tag title match that is contested under Ultimate X. We got the Revolution, but this time it was not Storm and Abyss. It was Manic and the Great Sonata. And the Bromans with Jesse, Mr. Spectacular, but not his typical partner, Robbie E. Robbie E still butthurt for losing his match to Brooke last week. So we got DJ Z in place of Robbie E. And then, of course, the tag team champions, the Wolves. For the gimmick match that it was pretty entertaining. But, Matt, could they have put a couple more credible teams in there?
Yeah, I was just hoping if the Bromans lost, they would have been fired. And then that's what I was hoping for the entire time. So,
I don't understand the Bromans, man.
The match was the match was. Yeah.
You don't understand them, Trevor, or Matt doesn't understand them?
Matt doesn't.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, Jesse, come on, Mr. Spectacular.
He's got pecs.
I just retweeted a photo of Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns fighting over a Super Nintendo.
Hey, retweet the teddy bear one while you're at it so I can take a look after.
I made sure I did. It is retweeted. It's on my timeline. So
I cannot wait.
You'll have to go through my timeline after this is over to find some of these internet gems that are going to be popping up over the next 24 hours.
We'll have to post those on our Facebook page as well.
Absolutely.
So yeah, the Wolves retain. No big surprise. We are probably in a couple weeks as the tapings now finally are reverted back to the United States. We'll probably in a couple of weeks we'll probably see the Wolves face the Hardys.
Creatures.
That's gonna be a good match. Those guys are gonna.
I'm just disappointed that we're not gonna see any more Grado because we're not in the UK.
Well, maybe he got a passport. Come on.
I hope not. I want to see more Grado.
You're gonna miss that fanny pack, aren't you?
Dude, that fanny pack is epic.
I about lost my shit when Josh Matthews put Mr. Spectacular Jesse over as one of the greatest athletes in pro wrestling. I couldn't even spit that out. Josh Matthews actually said that on the broadcast.
I mean, if he said that, if he said, of all the athletes that came from Big Brother, in TNA, then I'd be like, yeah, he's right, because he's the only one. But
I was a fan of Jesse and Big Brother, goddammit.
I was not, because I was a Dan Giesling guy, so...
Well, I like Dan, too, because Dan's a witch. He's probably the greatest Big Brother player of all time.
I agree. I definitely agree. So now that we've started Big Brother cast...
Hey, I'm a watcher. I've seen every season. All the way from Chicken George.
You seen the Big Brother Canada seasons?
No, just...
They're fantastic. Download them.
And there's a lot of a lot of hoser.
Season 3 of Big Brother Canada just started, apparently, and I need to find some downloads for that. So
Samoa Joe and Austin Aries square off, and this was last match for Samoa Joe, so it'll be interesting to see how they kind of write him off of TV. There was no firing or ass-whooping, no goodbye message, nothing.
They're probably going to blow up his hotel or something.
Unless Joe...
I'm sorry, Vince Russo doesn't work there anymore.
No. Here's what's going to happen. They're going to open up Impact next week. They're going to reuse the footage from like 5 years ago with a bunch of the hoodie guys grabbed Samoa Joe and threw him in the back of a van and drove off. And
nobody will know.
That's how Impact's going to open up.
Nobody will know
because he's going to be like, what happened?
Yep.
Drew Galloway, did you steal Samoa Joe?
Oh my God! Yeah,
they'll just wait for like 5 years until Samoa Joe finally returns, and they'll be like, "We found him."
See, I think Samoa Joe will never return because I think he's going to WWE.
They make a mention that Samoa Joe made some news over the past week, which actually it wasn't. It was like 2 weeks ago, if not 3. But Yeah, so they made it in passing, which made you think, oh yeah, this is the last match for Samoa Joe in TNA. So who knows if he went to Orlando for a goodbye? He's one of TNA's greatest superstars ever, so you'd think so, but who the fuck knows? Yeah, it's hard to tell. Because he's already...
This is his last.
Yeah, but obviously that was his last match.
Said goodbye to him on Twitter.
And
I have Dixie Carter muted on Twitter.
I don't blame you.
I can't even see it. If somebody retweets her, I can't even see it. I want nothing to do with Dixie Carter.
I'm gonna make a second Dixie Carter account called Dixie Carter's Tweets, and I'm just gonna copy and paste all her tweets and make sure Matt sees all of them.
Yeah, but then he'll just block you, and then you gotta create another account.
It'll just be a 6 cycle.
That is your calling in life, is just create new accounts for Matt to see Dixie's tweets.
Yep.
And by Dixie's tweets, I'm not talking sexual.
If that were the case, then I'd be looking all the time. But
hello.
Yeah.
Just as we were getting a good Samoa Joe Austin Aries, a good match, a good goodbye maybe to Samoa Joe, the BDC does what the BDC does and causes a DQ. Wins and losses don't matter to the BDC. But, yeah.
You know what? And guess what, guys? The Beatdown Clan is still the dumbest fucking stable name in professional wrestling.
Even worse than the Oddities.
Yes, it is.
And in the end, they tried to double team Aries, but he manages to escape and knock out Low-Ki, and here comes Rockstar Spud with a little bit of a bandage over his head. I think he's still bleeding from last week. I think they still haven't stopped the blood yet. But he's heavily bandaged and no hair, because he lost the hair versus hair match with EC3. But knocked out Low-Ki. He hits Brian Kendrick's slice bread number 2 and gets the 1-2-3. So we have a new X Division champion in Rockstar Spud. And they fucked it up. Earl Hebner.
Was it slice bread number 2? I thought it was more of a Spike Dudley Bulldog kind of.
Yeah, it is. He Spud ends it more like an RKO.
Yeah, so it's a Spike Dudley Dudley dog.
Yeah. And what was great was old man Earl Hebner couldn't find the damn title. They're trying to give him a moment in the ring, and they're looking all over the ring for the title, and they can't find it. It's on the fucking steel steps.
Well, Spud just had to run around the ring to find it.
Oh, that was unintentional comedy right there.
I don't know how they couldn't have edited that out.
Yeah, it's not like it's live. It's live if you're in the arena, but that's about it.
Well, I don't know if you've seen TNA's editors, but they're not the greatest.
They're like, oh, it's all good. We're just gonna leave it in there. Matt? What did you think about the triple threat match with the TNA Knockouts?
It was good. It wasn't great. I don't know. I like Taryn Terrell a lot, but I'm already sick of the formula of throw her in there with Gail Kim and a monster, and she's gonna pin Gail and squeak away with the championship, because they've done it with Havoc and they did it with Kong, and it was almost like the same match both times, and I was just like, all right, I need something fresh now. And I don't know. As I said, I like all three of them. It just something about the match didn't click for me this week.
Do you think Kong needs to sell a little bit better or still be dominant?
I don't know. I think she could use to sell a tiny bit more. Not a lot more, but a tiny bit more.
What made? They need to kind of go back and see what made the Gail Kim and Awesome Kong feud so great, and add that into it at least a little bit, and not try to, like you said, copy what they did with Havoc. So, but as Matt had mentioned, Taryn Terrell pins Gail Kim in the triple threat match for the TNA Knockout title to get the win. It was kind of a short match, so hopefully maybe there's a little something later on with those guys.
Can we just get Gail Kim in NXT? Could that please be a thing?
Yeah, she's never. Dude, I don't think she's ever coming back to WWE.
I don't think so either.
She's like an old grandma by WWE standards.
Which sucks.
But I mean, she's Asian, so she doesn't actually age.
That's true.
At least until she hits like 60, and then it's...
Well, they did have Mae Young in there until she was like 85, and she was doing Bronco Busters on people. So
true, that is true. So, I mean,
so we could have Asian Mae Young 20 years from now.
I mean, honestly, like, would you not want to see Gail Kim against like Charlotte or Gail Kim against Sasha Banks?
Oh yeah, obviously.
Awesome.
Obviously, but I mean, what is she? 37 now?
Is she that old?
I think so. 35 to 37. But
she doesn't look it.
Well, yeah, like Trevor just said.
Yeah, that's
she is,
honestly.
Wait,
I'm shocked if she's that old.
38.
Damn.
She turned 38. She turned 38 in February.
I mean, she was in WWE like 10 years or so ago.
Yeah, she's been in TNA forever. I mean,
her first run in WWE was probably like 05, 06 maybe.
Yeah.
Might even have been earlier than that.
Yeah, I was gonna say it might have been 04. So I mean, it's
because TNA got started. TNA got started with their pay-per-views in 03, the Wednesday night pay-per-views. So she probably didn't go to TNA until maybe like 07 or so, I think. But yeah, I mean, obviously she would be great, but I don't know. I mean, they did bring back Rhino, and Rhino's not a spring chicken, so bringing her back to NXT would obviously be a great idea.
Rhino doesn't age either.
Yeah, he just eats people. But it's not a bad idea because eventually, I don't think Sasha Banks is going to be in NXT for much more than another year or so. So then you're going to kind of start to need to rebuild that women's division in NXT, plus have some, it doesn't hurt to have veterans there to kind of put them over as well.
Yeah, and you know what? Gail Kim would be a great woman to put in there, especially now that Sarah Del Rey is working more with the women on the main roster.
Mm-hmm.
So,
does she work with them on both the main roster and NXT?
I think so, but they're basically kind of grooming Sarah Del Rey to take over for Finlay.
Oh, I didn't realize she was doing the main roster stuff too.
Yeah,
she's doing a little bit of both right now.
Cool. My name is Finlay, and I like to watch chicks fight.
Hey, when Finlay makes chicks fight, they fight good.
He
was responsible for the Trish Lita era, so
definitely a great agent in the WWE. No DQ match next up. James Storm, Matt Hardy.
Didn't care.
This was your typical.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I mean,
you think it'll be better next week with Hardy?
Probably the same match, really, just more flippy dippy.
Well, the one next week's supposed to be in a cage, right?
Yep, it's gonna be the 6
yeah, so I mean, it'll be different. But I mean, freaking A! Yeah. I'm so tired of I'm so tired of the James Storm, hillbilly hick Bray Wyatt knockoff gimmick. I'm done with it.
Yeah, with the Revolution and stuff.
And it sucks because I really like James Storm. Yeah, exactly. I really like James Storm, and I liked a lot of the stuff that he's done in TNA. I absolutely I hate the Revolution stuff. It's awful.
Yeah, so, it's basically just like, it's like, well, we need another stable that's not the BDC, so we're just going to throw a bunch of guys together and see if it sticks.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It could be better, but outside of Abyss, the guys that are in it, like Koya, he sucks. Like we said on a previous show, he makes Mason Ryan look like a superstar. I don't really care about Manic and Sonata, and they just don't seem to fit. They don't seem to fit.
They haven't built those guys up as being important.
No.
And all they really do is either throw them in matches like the Ultimate X match at the beginning of the show that they're not going to win, and it doesn't really showcase them or do anything for them, or they end up just interfering in James Storm's and Abyss's matches, which also doesn't do anything for them. So they're basically just they're basically the Mean Street Posse.
Yeah.
From the mean streets of Greenwich.
Yeah, and it's not like these guys are really in the championship picture now. They're not really in the tag picture now. I don't know if Abyss and Storm got their rematch, but all the same, I mean, right now, outside of their feud with the Hardys, what happens after that? You know, maybe they don't last too much longer.
Well,
maybe we can get Storm back to some relevance.
Well, maybe, you know, after the Hardys, I can see the Hardys going against the Wolves for the tag titles, because that seems to be how they established it. That respect factor that they're doing there. I mean, it's going to lead to more interesting matches anyway, probably.
Oh, yeah, definitely. We get to our main event, one that has never been held one-on-one before. Bobby Lashley, Kurt Angle for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. I thought this was a phenomenal kind of technical wrestling match. What did you think of that, Matt?
Oh, the match was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was one of the best matches I've seen on TNA in a long time, and that says something, because they have had a lot of good matches since being on Destination America, but I thought this match stood head and shoulders above everything else. I thought it was extremely well done.
Yeah, I thought the build-up kind of was a little weak, but I mean, that's just the way it is now. With no pay-per-views or anything, you're going to basically get a short build-up and get the payoff just a couple of weeks later on TNA TV. So, but the match was just a technical masterpiece. But of course, when you got Kurt Angle in the ring, that's kind of hard to not do. And what did you think on the match there, Trevor?
Oh, it was an excellent match. I mean, if I have to nitpick, I don't think Lashley should have tapped out. I think he should have passed out. But other than that,
we've seen a lot of that lately, though. Everybody would have just said they copied WWE.
Yeah, I guess so. But I mean, for Lashley, I mean, he's this big, strong dude, and he's an MMA fighter. So it would kind of make sense to keep him strong and not have him tap. But I mean, at the same time, Taz sold it well.
Yeah.
Like, well, he knew he couldn't get out of it and live to fight another day. So, I mean, it was sold well. But I mean, the match was really
unlike
good.
WWE commentary, you actually understood the reasoning for Lashley tapping out and living to fight another day.
Well, that's because they weren't mentioning tweets and chicken fries. So finally, after his long year journey to get back as a full-time competitor, Kurt Angle is once again the TNA World Heavyweight Champion. Looking forward to their rematch, which will probably come down the line very soon. After the match, obviously a show of respect. Lashley raised his hand. Everything was all about respect at the end of that match. So I think, I'm excited for the rematch, and that should be another treat. And once again, overall overall it wasn't a jaw-dropping episode of Impact. It was solid and a phenomenal main event. But, that phenomenal main event, you got Jeff Hardy coming back next week. I think the momentum can maybe start to come back after they had really started to throw a lot of good stuff at us early. So, be looking forward to what where they take TNA as they make their return back to the States. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are now to our WrestleMania predictions. This is the second month that we're keeping tally with Matt, Trevor, and myself, and Mr. Trevor Oz was the champion, the Fastlane champion,
the clear winner,
and
shoulders above the competition.
And Mr. Matt was the GOAT,
greatest of all time, baby.
So the current standings are as follows: Trevor is 6-1. What was the one you missed? Was it? Oh, it was the 6-man, wasn't it?
Man,
we all,
yeah,
we all thought the Faces were going to win.
Yeah.
I am 4-3, and Matt is 2-5.
He's mad. Big old.
Heaven forbid!
Heaven
forbid! I booked a better card than WWE did.
What was funny was if we go back to the tape, if we go to the Fastlane preview show, I remember the exact quote Trevor said to you, Matt. Do you like being wrong? And he backed it up. But anyway,
well, when I dominate WrestleMania and you guys stink up the joint. I don't want to hear it.
I don't know. I almost think WrestleMania is going to be a lot harder to predict than.
Well, I'm the host, so I'm going to just copy all your picks, man. I'm going to make you go
No.
first.
You son of a bitch.
WrestleMania kickoff for the second straight year is going to be a fatal four-way for the Tag Team Championships. We got Los Boradores, A New Day, the Usos, Kid and Cesaro, and that'll be our kickoff show. Trevor, kick us off, and who do you think wins the kickoff show fatal four-way tag title match?
I think that the New Day will not win this match.
I was gonna say, wait a minute.
Well, you already 1-0 there.
I mean, honestly,
they weren't even featured on Raw.
the only logical choices
for a minute when he thought he was gonna pick the New Day.
The only logical choices here are Kid and Cesaro and the Usos. So
yes.
I'm pretty. I mean, it really could go either way. I'm gonna go with Tyson and Cesaro here.
All right, Matt, what are your thoughts on that opener?
With the factor of one of the Usos is currently nursing an injury, and they were not even sure up until today if he was going to work this Sunday. I don't think the Usos are going to win the titles back. Kid and Cesaro also got a T-shirt today on WWE Shop.
Yeah.
So I am putting my pick down on Kid and Cesaro to retain the titles as well.
Look at your investigative work.
I did my homework, buddy.
Basing a result of a match by them getting a T-shirt on WWE Shop.
Why waste money to make a T-shirt if they're not going to keep them together?
Yeah.
Obviously pushing this back to obviously making this a four-way instead of keeping the Usos feud alive, and pushing this back to the kickoff show. I think that pretty much signifies that this is just going to be a retain for Kid and Cesaro, and like we've said all along, it's a great tag team, and they've produced. So
I hope Los Matadores are in this just to take the pinfall.
Oh, I hope so.
Like at this point, whoever wins, I just hope they pin Los Matadores.
Oh man, they have El Torito. What do you?
And then afterwards, whoever wins the match, I hope they punt El Torito into the fifth row.
They kick him into the San Francisco Bay.
I'd be down.
All right, so it's a clean sweep. Kid and Cesaro by all three of us, and that means just like with the 6-man tag, we'll probably all be wrong, and Los Matadores will be your new tag team champions.
I don't see a world where that happens.
If the New Day win the tag titles, I'm gonna mark out I'm going to WrestleMania, and if the New Day win the tag titles, I'm gonna mark out. No one else where I'm sitting is gonna care. And I'm just going to start
clapping. I'm just going to
start clapping with the New Day, man. I'm just going to start clapping.
One guy in this arena just started cheering for the New Day. We don't know how that happened, but...
So then they go, hey, little Matt, let's take you to the merchandise booth and buy you all head-to-toe New Day stuff. You got a new towel, yeah.
Unfortunately, the New Day doesn't even have a T-shirt, so...
I thought they did.
They do not. I've been waiting for one. They do not have a T-shirt. Geez.
So if they would have had a T-shirt, they would have been your pick for the Fatal 4-Way?
If New Day would have had a T-shirt released today, I would have maybe picked them for to win the tag titles this Sunday.
Oh my God! Anyways, that's the reason why they're on the pre-show, right? And next up we got
feeling the power of the New Day.
I just hate being bored by the power of the New Day.
You jerk.
Next up is the returning Randy Orton taking on Seth Rollins for revenge of the curb stomp on the steel steps, the curb stomp on the announce table back in November. Orton systematically got himself in to the Authority only to turn on the Authority and beat the holy shit out of Seth Rollins. I'll lead off the pick here, and I'm going to go with Seth Rollins on this one. I think... this ain't going to be the last time we see Seth Rollins. So, I think we're going to see Seth Rollins with a little silver piece of equipment that has a little handle on it and a little something on the inside. So I'm gonna go with Rollins. Matt, what do you like?
I also like Seth Rollins. But I will tell you right now, if Rollins beats Orton on Sunday like I predict him to, he's not cashing in that night. You have a much more likelihood chance of him cashing in if he loses to Orton, because that's WWE Mindset 101.
And Trevor.
I'm going Seth Rollins.
I think Trevor...
It makes the most sense, and Orton actually loses to people, unlike other people that shall remain nameless until we get to them.
Oh, don't get me wrong. This match is going to be a clusterfuck of interference.
Oh, yeah.
But by hook or by crook, I think Seth Rollins gets out of this match with a win.
Yeah, I think so, too. And it's his first big WrestleMania singles match. So... I think he's going over.
I mean, yeah, it makes complete sense because Orton's not going to be in the title picture, at least in the near future. And Rollins,
though, man, if Brock re-signed, they could go Brock Orton because that's never been done.
Oh, I wouldn't mind it.
But at that point, but at that point, Orton's got to go over Rollins.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it could go either way. It depends on which way they go.
It just seems like the booking is led into WrestleMania with Orton being extremely dominant over Rollins.
Yeah,
so I see Orton doing the job to Rollins on Sunday.
But at the same time, just to be devil's advocate here, if they do have Orton win, then Seth Rollins cashes in, then you have your title match for next month be Rollins and.
Yeah, if they don't want to use Brock immediately. Or shift to something with Reigns.
Yeah.
I mean, it would heavily depend on who
he cashes in on.
Would cash in on as well.
Yeah, and right now I'm thinking Trevor's just copying us to keep his lead.
Wow.
He doesn't want to relinquish his lead, so he's just copying us. Bella Twins against Paige and AJ Lee. Matt, who do you got on this one?
Oh man, this is rough. Honestly, this is rough because I mean the Bellas have been for the most part getting over on Paige and AJ. But I mean Brie lost on SmackDown, and I don't know if WWE really wants to give AJ a win at WrestleMania. So I say if Paige and AJ win, Paige is going to be the one getting the pin. But something tells me somehow the Bellas squeak out of this one with a win.
All right, and Trevor.
It's a tough scenario because again you have AJ Lee who probably won't sign another contract once her contract's due, and then you have Paige, who should probably get the win here, at least to keep pushing that storyline forward. But they have the Bellas who could kind of use their WrestleMania moment. I mean, if you look at their teaser for Total Divas, let's do that, where the Bellas tease that they're not signing another contract. I mean, it's hard to say. I mean, are they gonna be nice about it and give them a big WrestleMania moment like in what could be their last WrestleMania? Or are they going to be like, no, we can't put them over, and again put Paige over as the person who gets the pin? But then again, that also means AJ wins, and WWE is it's kind of hard to predict whether they're going to be spiteful in one way or another, or But I think ultimately, the reason on Raw they put the strife between AJ and Paige was so that they can say, hey, we're sisters and we're always on the same page, and that's how we can get it done. And I think the Bellas are going to go over.
All right, so you're going with Paige and AJ then?
I'm going with the Bellas.
Bellas, okay.
Where are you getting this stuff, Jamie?
I was kind of confused.
Compelling case for the Bellas, and you're like, okay, so he's going for Paige and AJ.
I'm going with Paige and AJ.
Go.
I'm not gonna join your copy party here. I'm gonna break up the monotony of us picking the same thing. I think Brie's gonna turn on Nikki like Nikki turned on Brie at SummerSlam, and that'll end up getting Paige the win and lead to another title match between Paige and Nikki Bella. So I'm gonna go with Paige and AJ here.
Well, if Brie turns on Nikki, don't you think that's just gonna evolve into a Bella's feud again?
Yep. I thought it was already going to happen, and that would lead to them two squaring off at WrestleMania. But no, I'm going to go with Paige and AJ here. United States Championship match with the undefeated, unpinned, unsubmitted Rusev against John Cena. Trevor, who do you have on this match?
Well, the last time that we had a match for America at WrestleMania was Hulk Hogan and Sergeant Slaughter at WrestleMania 7. So, and we all know what happened there. The Hulkster put the leg down and regained the WWF Championship at that point. So, I really want Rusev to win this, because the scenario I would love to see is Rusev win, John Cena fails, not because it's John Cena, but because I would like Rusev to stay strong, and then Rusev becomes a good opponent for like a Roman Reigns title reign or something like that, if they're going with Reigns to win. But I think I have to go with Cena, because it makes sense. Rusev won the Fastlane match, and if nothing else, this will elevate the United States Championship. That's for sure, and they could always do a rematch for that belt at Extreme Rules and have Rusev win it back. So, but I think it's WrestleMania. It's the big American victory is bound to happen. So I'm going to go with Cena.
Yeah, I fully agree with you, Trevor. I think the thing that put me over the edge tonight was Cena getting laid out on Raw. I think the old typical he'll bounce back and beat Rusev. I don't want Rusev to win or to lose. I want Rusev to be undefeated and get the WWE World Heavyweight Championship and then make it compelling on who's going to be the first to knock him off. As long as they don't knock him off with a stun gun.
Scott Hall. Scott Hall. Triple H just pinned Rusev. What? Swerve.
Buried.
Where's Vince Russo when you need him?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
We'll put it on a pole.
Yeah, let's put the belt on a pole. Put Rusev's medal there, too.
God, I've been pro Rusev winning this match the whole time, and I don't know. God, it sounds like Bray Wyatt all over again, where he didn't put him over here, but he puts him over at the Extreme Rules.
But at the same time, with Bray Wyatt, he didn't face Bray Wyatt in Elimination Chamber, last year, where Bray Wyatt beat him then.
Yeah.
So, I think
I'm just gonna stick with what I've thought all along. I'm going with Rusev. I think they're gonna keep him as the dominant heel that has not been beat, and keep that all the way up until someone takes the World Heavyweight title from him. I think I'm gonna stick with that and go with Rusev. Matt, what do you think?
JB, do you like being wrong?
Okay, Trevor.
We're all in agreement. Nobody here wants to see Rusev lose. But the fact of the matter is, after John Cena took a nap on the commentary table tonight, there's absolutely no way that Cena doesn't win on Sunday. John Cena's going over. Whether he's walking out with the championship, I'm not 100% certain of. But John Cena definitely beats Rusev on Sunday. Somehow, some way, John Cena's music plays at the end of that match.
That's only because you're going to have it in your boombox.
Oh, God.
The John Cena part on Wrestling Isn't Wrestling.
Spoiler, I win.
Spoiler, I win. Oh, John Cena, another reason why you should watch Wrestling Isn't Wrestling, the John Cena part. Oh, my God. All right, Intercontinental Ladder Match. 7 guys are going to enter. Only one holds the ivory strap. We've got ourselves R-Truth. We got Wade Barrett, the current champion. Dean Ambrose, Luke Harper. We got Daniel Bryan. We got Stardust. And we got somebody that I'm forgetting. Who am I forgetting? He's not going to win, apparently.
Yeah, some other guy.
Yeah, Ziggler. How did I forget about Ziggler?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Siggles.
Probably because...
Honestly, I wasn't paying attention to who you ran down, so I didn't know who you forgot.
I was the same way, so...
Some help you guys are. I'll start it off. I am going to stick with my guns on this one, too. We'll see how wrong I am with sticking to my guns, but I think to keep that Intercontinental title on the road to importance, it's got to be with Dean Ambrose. I'm going with Dean Ambrose. All right, Matt, who do you got?
As much as I would love to see Dean Ambrose walk out with the Intercontinental Championship, I'm rolling with I'm rolling with the guy who lost on Thursday and Monday. I'm rolling with Daniel Bryan. The potential right now of Lesnar retaining the championship if he resigned, and John Cena and Daniel Bryan holding the Intercontinental and the United States Championships as the most important titles in the company that are seen every week. I think that could be really cool. Don't get me wrong, I'd love to see Dean win. I'd love to see Dolph win. And I love Bad News Barrett. I wouldn't be hating if he retained either. But at this point, I think it's got to be Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan deserves a good follow-up WrestleMania, since he's had 9 months of hell and had to come back and be lost in the mid-card. So I think
well, at least he's not on the Andre the Giant Battle Royal.
Yeah,
so.
Thank God. I think
that would be lost in the lower mid card right there.
He's lost in the upper mid card.
So yeah, I think Daniel Bryan becomes Intercontinental Champion on Sunday.
All right, Trevor, who do you think?
If you had asked me last month right after Fastlane, I would have said Dean Ambrose. I would have.
Yeah.
But the way he's been used since then leads me to believe, no, not really. I'm pretty sure R-Truth is not going to win this.
No.
He did it again.
Which, I mean, it'd be hilarious because R-Truth is just hilarious, but...
I agree.
He can't ladder, and he's scared of heights.
In regards to Barrett, well, I definitely have some bad news for him. He's pretty much an afterthought, and he's the champion. So, I think the only real winners that have potential to win here are Ziggler and Bryan. And with Ziggler winning the belt so many times in the past couple years, I really see them putting it on Daniel Bryan. And I think Matt made a good point with having, the 2 top titles that are seen all the time. If Lesnar retains, you'll see, Daniel Bryan and John Cena holding those 2, what were traditionally mid-card belts, and maybe, bringing them and making them more important again.
That's going to be an odd sight. It's almost going to be like, remember that internet fan's dream when Daniel Bryan had a title, CM Punk had a title.
Yeah.
They all took a picture together. I can see it happening. I'm just going to stick with my guns here with Ambrose. I think Bryan, but I mean, it would be cool to see Cena and Bryan hold those titles and make them more important, because they are an important piece of wrestling history, and they've just been shit on for so long. So I'm not going to be disappointed with Bryan winning it, but I think Ambrose should be the one to carry that strap. Let's head over to the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. I'm not going to run down the list of participants that job on Raw every night, but Matt, who do you think is going to win this match?
Honestly, I think the guy who wins this match isn't even scheduled for it yet. I think Sheamus wins the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. Yeah, trust me, I ain't happy about it. I'd rather have Zack Ryder win. But yeah, I think it's going to be Sheamus.
You're about the only one.
Yeah.
You're about the only one that'd rather have Zack Ryder win. But.
Okay, if you'd rather have Sheamus win over Zack Ryder, that's on you, Trevor.
Hey, it's a shameful thing. Lobster head. You say Sheamus.
Right.
I think they might actually have Mizdow win this.
Mizdow?
Yeah. That's pretty much the only real storyline going into this Battle Royal is Miz and Mizdow. I could see it come down to both Miz and Mizdow, and Miz wants Mizdow to throw himself over the top and doesn't, and then that's when we see the breakup and Mizdow wins the Battle Royal.
Yeah, that would be a great moment, and I don't think they're going to give it to us, though. I think they're going to give us a little moment within the Battle Royal, but they're not going to give us that moment to finish.
I mean, if you follow TV for the past month and you take out the factor of Sheamus, the heavy favorite looks to be Ryback right now.
And that's my pick. My pick is Ryback.
Yeah.
He's the guy that's probably the most over with him and Mizdow. With the crowd ever since he's been returning, he's been on fire, and I think this is just a tailor-made win to have Ryback to have. So I'm going to go with Ryback for the winner of that match. But hey, be interesting. We each pick someone different, and
Mizdow's going to be my dark horse, and hopefully we see that because the dude deserves to be higher up than he is.
That would be a great pop, and I just don't know if they're going to give it to us, but. I
will state that Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal history is on my side, as last year's winner Cesaro was not even scheduled to be in that Battle Royal until that evening. So we'll see what happens.
Maybe Sheamus is unscheduled for the IC ladder match.
Oh, God.
Who knows? Sting and Triple H, a match that is 14 years in the making. Should we just all say Sting here?
I got Sting.
Yeah.
And if somebody has the balls to pick Triple H, I salute you.
Yeah,
Triple H has those balls. Triple H has those balls.
Triple H has the balls to know he needs to lay down for Sting.
Yeah, he knows what's best for business. That's going to be more of a moment than it's going to be a match too, but I think we all are in agreement that Sting's going to win that match. He didn't make a debut this late in his career just to lay on the mat for the boss. So.
Yeah, exactly.
The main event of the evening, Roman Reigns against Brock Lesnar.
Hey!
I'm pretty sure you're forgetting something there, buddy.
What am I forgetting?
Gong.
Oh, how did I forget that? Jesus Christ.
Gong.
I was like, when you guys were talking, I was quickly typing them out, and somehow I missed that.
Man,
Undertaker.
No fucking tombstone your ass. Forget about my match, boy.
Just set JB's rocking chair on fire. That's what.
Good job to Michelle McCool, boy.
Don't set my sister Abigail on fire.
This is actually a really tough one to call because you don't have the stigma of the streak anymore. So you know that the Undertaker can be beaten at WrestleMania. At this point, I think it just comes down to whether or not the Undertaker's ready to pass that torch or not.
Mm-hmm.
And what a better character than Bray Wyatt to do that for. I would really like to see Bray Wyatt win this because there hasn't been really a character, maybe other than early Kane, at least from an Undertaker aura, we should say, around them like Bray Wyatt has had. So out of anybody that could have the proverbial torch passed to, I could definitely see it being Bray. I'm going to go with Bray.
All right. I agree. I see I agree with it being tough because I could see them giving Undertaker his spot at WrestleMania back after getting it taken away from Brock Lesnar. I think that will be next year when he has this retirement match with Sting, and I think Sting puts Taker over, which leads me to believe that Bray Wyatt is going to defeat The Undertaker here at WrestleMania and shoot himself straight up into the title picture, possibly even around SummerSlam. Matt, what do you think?
I am definitely also seeing Sting versus The Undertaker next year, where both careers end after the match is over. And I do not see Undertaker going into that match with a loss. I see Undertaker defeating Bray Wyatt this Sunday at WrestleMania, and the stare down between Sting and Undertaker on Raw the next night, which will lead to WrestleMania 32 in Dallas.
Well,
Undertaker
what about
over Bray.
Well, what if Taker loses and he's shows up on the next night of Raw to kind of dance around the idea that he's retiring, and then Sting comes out?
It's not, honestly, that match is not going to mean nearly as much with Taker losing back-to-back years at WrestleMania. Both guys need to win to go into that match to be as important as it can be. Because if Taker's lost back-to-back matches, who cares about the streak at that point? Who the hell thinks he's going to beat Sting? I'm calling Taker over Bray at Mania. And you know what? Depending on the placement on the card, depending on where Sting faces Triple H and where Undertaker faces Bray, you might even have a moment where, if Bray and Taker go on after Sting and Triple H, and Bray loses, and then maybe Bray forms a new Wyatt family afterwards. I mean, with the Ascension or something, because hell, they're not being used. And they're all beating up on The Undertaker. Maybe Sting comes out and saves Undertaker. I don't know. But I think Undertaker goes over on Sunday. So I'm going against both of you guys. I'm going with the dead man.
All right. Main event time. Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar. Obviously a lot of intrigue basically surrounding around Lesnar's contract situation. And obviously this was not the match we wanted to see after the Royal Rumble had ended, but I believe as we have progressed within this feud, I think it has turned into a credible WrestleMania main event match outside of the ending of Raw tonight.
Tug of war. Tug of war
on a pole match. I am going to go Brock Lesnar. Re-signing or not, he's not losing. Trevor, what do you think?
It's a tough call because because Brock is great as champion, but at the same time, I think Roman needs the title more than Brock does. Roman almost needs the title to validate him in that position, but they could also go with the Roman wins the title, Rollins cashes in and takes that title from him right after he wins it, which would be a great moment and one where WrestleMania has never had a cash-in. So it would be a great WrestleMania moment for both of them and have a feud between those two instantly afterwards. I'm gonna actually go with it. I'm gonna go with Roman Reigns wins the title.
All right, and Matt?
This is something that really sucks about predicting this match on a Tuesday. Just because I would really like to know, prior to my pick, if Brock Lesnar has signed a new contract with the WWE or not.
Well, you're not going to get that much closer to Trevor by getting it wrong.
I know, but I'm just saying, within the next 48 hours or so, news might come out if Brock signed a new deal in Los Angeles on Monday night.
Yeah, but you got to pick now.
I know. I'm saying.
You pick now.
You shut your mouth, you jabroni. I would say I'm going out on the limb here. I'm going out on the limb, and I'm picking Brock Lesnar to retain the championship against Roman Reigns. Because, in my opinion, even if Brock doesn't resign, I see it's being safer for Seth Rollins to cash in on Brock after an exhausting match than to cut the legs out from Roman Reigns with a 60-second title win. I think there would be 10 times more harm done to Roman to be cashed in on immediately after that match than be Brock. So if Brock signed a new deal and he stays on, obviously no cash in, but they could obviously swerve everybody, have Brock beat Roman, be exhausted, barely able to stand, and have Rollins come out and cash in and beat Brock. And that's not going to hurt anything because if Brock's leaving, it's not even going to really matter. And they can move forward with, Seth and whoever they want to have him feud with. I think Reigns winning to only be cashed in upon, I think would do that man so much more harm than good right now. And if they're trying to make him the next main event star, that's not the way they want to go about it. Yeah, I'm thinking Brock on Sunday, man.
All right, and a little bonus. We're going to add this to our win-loss thing, the Rollins cash question. Are we adding this to our predictions and win-loss?
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah. All right. Well, finally, the last prediction of the evening.
Well, who are you picking?
Oh, I said Lesnar. I was the first one.
Did you?
Yeah. Did you fall asleep again?
It was probably just your voice. I just found it out.
Well, I do have a bad allergy attack here that about put me out of commission today. But yeah, I picked Lesnar to win. I said title or no title. Contract or no contract, Lesnar's not going to get beat. So, yeah. So the final prediction, will Seth Rollins cash in Money in the Bank? Yes or no, Trevor?
Yes.
Matt?
No.
And I say yes. So we'll add that in to the
like I've already said, if Rollins was cashing in on Sunday night, I would have picked Orton to beat Rollins.
Yeah.
If Orton beats Rollins on Sunday, I'm telling you right now, he's cashing in.
I'm saying a choose your own adventure question, though. So.
I know, but I'm telling you right now. If Orton beats Rollins, Rollins cashes in. But I think Rollins beats Orton, so it's not. Well,
Trevor and I are both saying Rollins is going to win and cash. So.
Yeah, I don't. Vince isn't about giving that much shine to anybody at WrestleMania. Even Bret had the job to Owen Hart before he beat Yokozuna.
Well, you took the job at Fastlane before. Oh.
Yeah, that means I make the big comeback on Sunday, boys.
Oh.
Bada boom, realest man in the world. How you doing?
Oh my God, how you doing? All right, there's our predictions. I will put those up on the Facebook page, facebook.com/Lost in the Midcard, so you can follow at home and score. See how Matt does to further himself to get in the cellar. So, as we head into WrestleMania, obviously the biggest pay-per-view of the year. Trevor, what are your last thoughts as we roll into WrestleMania?
Hopefully it's better than the build has been.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it will be. I think once it comes down to the brass tacks here, once the matches are actually going, I think it'll actually turn out to be a way better WrestleMania than anybody would have predicted based on how they built some of it.
Yeah, I think it was a lot of one-sided builds because Lesnar wasn't there half the time. Taker hasn't been there. The writing hasn't been there. There hasn't been a lot of shock and awe moments, but yeah, fully agree.
I think the card on paper looks a lot better than the build that's been shown on television.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely agree with Trevor. I think when push comes to shove, I think this is going to be a much better WrestleMania on Sunday than people are giving it credit for right now.
Yeah, it's going to be fun to watch. The pre-show starts at 4:00 Central, 5 Eastern, and then the big daddy, the granddaddy of them all, starts at 6:00 Central, 7 Eastern. Make sure to tune in on that WWE Network for $9.99. And as always, Trevor, thanks for coming along for the ride this month. And for Matt, and this is Jeremy. Once again, you can find us on Facebook, facebook.com/Lost in the Midcard. Hope you enjoy WrestleMania, and we will catch you next week.
Peace.